Sometimes a performer reaches a certain level of fame where some find the limelight to be too much for them. This singer had a string of songs and was at the pinnacle of his career until he abruptly vanished not too long after the death of his mentor Otis Redding passed in an airplane accident. The centerpiece of today's video is all about Arthur Conley. Now before we start, let's be sure to leave a like on the video, subscribe to the channel, and push that notification button to be sure you won't miss out on any more content. Now, without further ado, let's cue that intro. Born Arthur Lee Conley on January 4th, 1946 in McIntosh, Georgia, and raised in Atlanta. When Conley joined the Evening Smiles, a gospel group that frequently performed on the local radio station WAOK, he was barely 12 years old. By 1963, he was fronting his own R&B group, Arthur and the Corvettes, which recorded 3 singles for the Atlanta label National Recording Company over the course of the following 2 years they released. Poor Girl, I Believe, and Flossie May. The NRC singles did not receive much notice despite Conley's graceful yet powerful singing, which owed much to his favorite, Sam Cooke. As a result, he disbanded the group to pursue a solo career. In 1964, Conley released the single, I'm a Lonely Stranger, on the Rujak label. Subsequently, Rufus Mitchell, the owner of the label, gave soul singer Redding a copy of the single. Impressed, Redding asked Conley to record the song again at Memphis Stack Studios, produced by Jim Stewart. The reworked version of I'm a Stranger became available at retail in the fall of 1965.
Do I have to be a lonely stranger?
It was the second single released on Redding's newly established Jodeci label. Early in 1966, Conley's Who's Foolin' Who was released. Conley signed with Atco Distributed Fame Records at Redding's insistence in order to release his next song, I Can't Stop. Despite being his most powerful and explosive record to date, it was welcomed with the same lack of commercial enthusiasm as his earlier releases. Likewise, the follow-up, Take Me Just As I Am, fell on deaf ears, even though the song was a major pop hit for Solomon Burke the following year.
But here's my heart, please take it.
At that point, Redding took an even greater role in Conley's career, encouraging his songwriting and advising him in business decisions. While jamming on a cover of Cooke's Yeah Man, the pair began tinkering with the original song, creating what would ultimately become sweet soul music and electrifying tribute to the Southern soul idiom that name-checked icons including James Brown, Sam and Dave, Wilson Pickett.
Oh yeah, get it on this.
At Conley's insistence, Redding himself, the resulting single Conley's debut for new label Atco proved a massive hit, reaching number 2 on both the Billboard Pop and R&B charts while reaching the top 10 across much of Europe. An LP also titled Sweet Soul Music soon followed, compiling the singer's little heard Jodeci and Fame sides. Conley's next single, a reading of the Big Joe Turner chestnut, Shake, Rattle, and Roll.
I'm like the one I kept up in a seafood store.
Returning to the Pop Top 40 and the R&B Top 20, although its follow-up, a cover of Cooke's Whole Lotta Woman, reached only number 73 on the pop chart. Conley was performing in Florida the night of December 10th, 1967, when Redding and members of his backing band, the Barcades, were unalived in a Wisconsin plane crash. Without Redding to run interference with Atco executives, The singer's career threatened to revert back to its rudderless beginnings, but in early 1968 Conley righted the ship, traveling to Memphis American recording studios to collaborate with the crack producer Tom Dowd. The session generated some of the singer's finest material, including the top 20 R&B hit, People Sure Act Funny,
All the time, now that you are millionaire, you can't be found no
Run On,
oh, running our love.
and the stirring Redding tribute, Oh to Sleep On.
Oh, I wanna thank you.
Best of all was the scorching Funky Street,
Got to get down with it. Oh, down on Funky.
which hit number 5 on the Billboard R&B chart and number 14 on its pop counterpart. Weeks later, Conley teamed with Burt, Don Covey, Benny King, and Joe Tex as the Soul Clan, recording the All-Star LP Soul Meeting. He then embarked on a month-long tour of Europe, returning to America to cut the Dowd produced Aunt Dora's Love Soul Shack.
Psychedelic likes his drinking.
A minor hit that was reportedly the inspiration for the Temptations' smash Psychedelic Shack. Conley closed out the year by recording a cover of the Beatles' Obi Lay Dee, Obi Lay Die. Featuring the great Duane Allman on guitar, the single reached number 51 pop and number 41 R&B in early 1969. After one final outing with Dowd, the Allen Toussaint pen. Star Review.
I'm on the Conley AC, and when my feet go to pattern and my hand get the clapping.
A naked and failed attempt to recapture the brilliance of sweet soul music. Conley signed on with producer Johnny Sandlin, returning to the R&B Top 40 in early 1970 with God Bless.
Prayed by little boys and girls.
His final Echo disc, an ill-advised rendition of Harry Belafonte's Perennial, Day O, foreshadowed the poor choices that characterized his subsequent tenure with manager Phil Walden's Capricorn label. Between 1971 and 1974, Conley released only 4 singles: I'm Living Good,
I'm living good. Soda, I'm living.
Walking on Egg,
Tell you a joke. You break down and cry.
Rita,
Rita, you so look sweeter.
and It's So Nice.
And a daughter runs away from home. We just make love.
In 1975, he relocated to England, spending several years in Belgium before settling in the Netherlands in 1980. There, he legally changed his name to Lee Roberts. A live date recorded in Amsterdam on January 6, 1980 was issued commercially in 1988 under the title Soulin' and credited to Lee Roberts the Sweaters. In the years to follow, he emerged as a successful entrepreneur. At one point in time, his Artcon Productions consisted of some 9 companies, among them Sweat Records, Upcoming Artist Records, Charity Records, Happy Jack Publishing, and the New Age Culture Exchange radio station. Conley was gay, and some observers claimed that as one of the reasons for his move to Europe and his name change. He believed that his sexual orientation held back his career as an R&B singer in the United States. After a long bout with cancer, Conley passed away in the Dutch city of Ruurlo on November 17, 2003. Now, before we go, I have a question for you all. What is your favorite song from Arthur Conley?